Holy cow, chat, look at that. That's sick. That's actually dope, that is. Some people are so talented, aren't they, when it comes to making cosplays. That is insane. It must take so long to do. All right, then. I've got to flush it out of my brain because it's going to trigger me all day long if I don't. All right, let's check this video out then from Fab Knight. Arknights, Sami, and the collapsals are terrifying. This title just got me straight away in the thumbnail. I'm interested. We're trying to learn more about the Arknights universe, so I want to learn more about this. Let's get into it, shall we? And let's see what it's all about then. Let's go, chat. Let's go. Ooh, nice. Like the style.
The following document is
Escaflowne!
classified.
I think it was Escaflowne. I'm sure it was Escaflowne. I'm sure it was Escaflowne. I'm sure it was Escaflowne. I could have swore it was. I'm sure that's it. I'm sure that's it. You've unlocked something in my brain there. I'm sure it was Escaflowne.
As a level 4 info hazard. Unauthorized access will result in termination through memetic kill agent. Proceed at your own risk.
Let's go.
Object name, collapsal.
Shit,
Containment
Eugene's
class,
rocks.
Keter. Special containment procedure. Under no circumstance are Rhodes Island operators to approach the lands of Sami. Observation of the collapsals must only be carried out through video and audio recording equipment managed by the operators stationed at the Sami border. Under no circumstance can these recordings leave Sami and must be deleted after an operator adequately rated for exposure to cognitohazardous material has examined and confirmed the recordings follow containment norms. The operator that has viewed the recordings must then have their memory deleted by another operator with the Arginium arts to do so, to prevent them from being affected by the info hazard. If in case an expedition to Sami occurs, follow all these guidelines to ensure the safety
Even just the memory of it's a problem? Okay, damn.
of Rhodes Island operators.
I like the style of this video.
Sami has its own logic. Whenever you feel it's necessary, silently recite it to yourself. If at that moment you start questioning Sami, immediately run away. Leave Sami. Sami seems to have no logic at all. Whenever you feel the need to doubt, don't hesitate. Show your skepticism. If you feel confident at a moment when you should doubt, immediately run away. Leave Sami. People who speak can generally be trusted. But if you encounter someone silent or the shadow of someone speaking, immediately run away. Leave Sami.
That's kind of creepy.
Respect the customs of the locals. Do not touch the trees of the local people, let alone stroke the shadows of the trees. If you do, immediately run away. Leave Sami. On nights when the twin moons are dim, do not spend the night in the forest. If absolutely necessary, do not spend the night with your companions.
It's almost like the purges here. Like, it's almost like, you know, like chaos corruption. It's really terrifying. Some of the things in Arknights can definitely be considered a SCP. Once their memory erased, they'll become new gacha MC. Collapsal basically like chaos corruption in war. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting a little bit, you know.
Companions. You must separate.
Thinking of them is like a beacon for collapsals. Yeah, kind of like chaos then, man. As soon as it's into society, it just permeates from the very connection with somebody kind of thing, like.
Conditions do not allow this, or if there are any other factors
around
you
that so
make
dangerous,
you and your
aren't they?
companions afraid of staying alone, immediately run
Things
away.
to do in Sami, leave Sami.
If you find that your inner thoughts receive verbal responses from others, do not answer. Immediately run away. Leave Sami. If you keep these warnings in mind, then when you need to use them, you will naturally know. If you haven't kept these warnings in mind, immediately run away. Leave Sami. Do not bring back things from Sami that should not be brought back. If you do, immediately run away. Take it.
Okay, so I'm getting the idea that really the best thing is probably just not to go to Sami, right? You know? And if you do, next thing you should do is just leave Sami, right? Okay, all right. I'm getting the picture. I'm getting the picture. I sent you a Discord message that links directly to the Leave Sami memes. It's a trailer from the official Arknights channel, and I made it. Oh, okay. All right. Let's have a look at that then.
Back to Sami. So, now that Typhon and IS-4 are released, we finally get our first look into the stories and lore that is happening
intro,
there.
that was.
So I think this is the perfect time to talk about one of the most interesting parts of the world of Arknights, in my opinion. That is Sami. And the demons living in that.
That's saying a lot so far, because I've seen a lot of stuff that seems very, very interesting. So it's a big statement.
Infi ice fields. If you didn't know, Sami is located at the furthest north of the Arknights world. It's loosely based off of the culture of the old Nordic and Arctic folklore. Some of the
Okay.
things that make Sami and its lore so cool is how much they lean into mystic animism. Animism being the belief that all objects, places, and beings have a spiritual essence, that everything, even plants, rocks, trees, and even the weather, as having agency and free will. We are able to very clearly see this in the traditions and practices of the people of Sami. From people listening to the heart of Sami by building settlements close to the trees.
That's cool. It's almost like almost visually like giving me ideas of like Yggdrasil. So these like Nordic people then. The portal leads to Talos. I was just thinking that just when somebody mentioned the portal. I was about to say that, but I was like, I don't know if I'm reaching there. Okay, that's cool.
2. People getting drunk and trying to befriend the trees. The people of Sami believe that these trees are sacred. The shamans of Sami would read prophecies through the bark of the trees, and they would perform rituals so that when they migrate, the trees would migrate with them.
That's
Shamans and medicine men being extremely important figures in Sami's culture. Understandably so, as they are the ones who would make all the big important decisions too. Sami, being a very isolated society, we barely know anything about them. It adds to the mysticism of the entire place. Take one of the spirits of Sami that we actually know of, Amma, who is one of the spirits that protect Sami. Amma here is actually a lord of the beasts, much like Dolly. And the Emperor, being basically
Yes,
like
my
a protector
boy.
spirit to Sami,
My
the
boy.
people worship her, treating her like a goddess. But why exactly is Sami as isolated a place as it is? Sure, we see in Typhon's vignette event that the tribes of Sami are pretty hostile towards outsiders, but there has to be more of a reason to this, right? Enter the collapsals. Collapsals are the demons living north of Sami in the Infi ice fields. They are not
Okay.
unlike the Seaborn in a sense that they are extremely dangerous threats to the world of Terra if they are left unchecked. But in what way are they dangerous, you ask?
Is there any references to Blackstone in Arknights as well? Because like just listening to stuff like this as well, there's almost a little bit of me there that's like, oh man, that kind of sounds a little bit like White Walkers as well. Because if you look into the deeper lore in The Song of Ice and Fire as well, there are sea-dwelling creatures apparently, you know? And there's links to the stuff with the Blackstone where they're like almost like two sides of the same coin kind of thing. Like it's some really interesting lore in Game of Thrones actually.
Oh boy, do I have some things to tell you. That little intro I made was obviously inspired by the SCP universe. I presented the collapsals as an info hazard and a cognito hazard.
Blackstone
This
floating
basically
fortress in
means that
Arknights.
they are
Okay.
dangerous to perceive through one of your senses, and that it is dangerous to even think about them. So what would happen if you were to make an oopsie and break one of the rules in the intro, or delve too deep into learning about the collapsals? Well, here are a few things that can happen that would
So we shouldn't watch this video, right? We just need to get the fuck out now, yeah? Everybody needs to just get out, guys. We got to bounce. It's done. It's over. Let's go.
indicate the presence
know
of
too much.
collapsals. Plants would start to bloom in the form of flowers, an unnatural blackness that won't be able to be caught on recording devices like cameras, pitch black snowfall or black fog, and if you yourself are corrupted by the collapsal, you would experience black blood oozing through your orifices. Your body would have black patches and your internal organs would be hollowed out. Also, your face will resemble that of black holes, which we actually see
That sounds horrible. That sounds horrible.
on the enemies in-game. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, it's dangerous to perceive them and it's dangerous to think about them. If you do, that's already enough to manifest corruption.
You're done.
Once you're corrupted,
Dunzo.
you would lose all sense of self.
True,
and
Leo.
basically
True.
become like a
Good
zombie
point, actually.
just trying to spread.
That's the superpower. Just be like me, have a terrible memory, and then you're like, man, I can go there, bounce. It's all done. I forgot about it. Forget about it, you know?
Collapse even more. Okay, sure, that makes them already extremely dangerous, and that alone is why people aren't allowed to go in and out of Sami to prevent the influence of the collapsals from spreading. But that isn't everything. To an extent, they can manipulate space-time, they can cause hallucinations, which further develops the physical and mental corrosion of the victim. They prey on this fear and even cause this fear to manifest. And even
Okay, I see what you guys are saying now. About like chaos. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely seeing that.
just being around them, they would cause conventional physics and how we understand the world to break down. Common sense wouldn't be so common anymore. So, How in the world are people still here and Terra isn't completely overrun by collapsals? Well, because there have been many extremely powerful people in Terra that have went to Sami to push back against the threat of the collapsals. From Emperor's Blades, to Tianxi, even Wendigos from Sarkaz. Remember people saying that Patriot in his prime is one of the most powerful characters that we'll ever get to know? Partly because Wendigos are just so naturally strong. You would also know that Patriot was known to be the last pure-blooded Wendigo. I wonder what happened to the rest of them.
Right, that's what's kept him at bay, right? Yeah, Emperor with the Glocks, man. He just rocks up, does his thing, a little bit of a Guncardo, and they're like, yeah, all right, we see how it is. All right, we'll leave you to it.
But of course, the main force pushing back against the collapsals are the Sami Snow Priests,
we don't want the smoke.
We know two that are named. This guy, he's dead now, and Santala, who took his place. Even if they're literally built to fight against the collapsals, they don't win 100% of the time because we can see the Snow Priests fall to corruption too. But regardless, we know that they're strong enough to earn the respect of Patriot. Now, how are they so strong? I'm not 100% sure of this, as I have not seen anything to definitively prove it, but it's probably because they are being helped by Sami's will.
Emperor would body those collapsals double-wielding a Glock, right?
Now, you might be wondering why I'm treating Sami, the location, as a living thing. Remember me talking about the beliefs of animism? In the most literal sense, Sami is alive. From the trees that the people have built around, to the mountains that border the Infi ice fields. We see this in one of the frontier memoirs of Ending 1. Magalon thinks. She puts her hand to her chest. She feels her heartbeat and that of the tree. She understands now. It is no plant. It is the heart of Sami. She has walked across Sami's spine, challenged Sami's will. She has descended into Sami's scar and wandered inside Sami's body. Through Sami's bones, following the lights of Sami's neural network, Sami forgives her intrusion. It has shown her its scars and vulnerability as a gift to the explorer. No one knew of Sami's pain until now. Compassion from a kindly spirit gives comfort to its tired soul. So, with all this said and done, how does all this lore fit into the gameplay? Well, we see so much of it. The main enemy type we see in IS4 is of course collapsals, or at least the people and things that have been corrupted by its influence. And we see how much the collapsals want to spread, seeing how fast they fucking go. We see these unfortunate people that have succumbed to the corruption of the collapsals. But we can also see just how alive Sami is. Using one of the most famous nodes in integrated strategies, the Sarkaz girl. If you choose to loot her house, it fucking comes alive and punishes you for it. We get to see the various things that the collapsals have corrupted. From warriors of Sami tribes to the Sami Snow Priests, even corrupted Emperor's Blades. You get a sense that nothing is safe from these bastards. Even the collapsal's mind-bending abilities is in full display. We get to see it via the collapse paradigms. Things like dequantification, non-linear movement, and pan-society paradox describe how mind-bending being in the presence of a collapsal is, blurring the boundaries of numbers. Phrases like, the shortest distance between 2 points is not a straight line, and the value of all products have become incapable.
Isn't that down to like that's down to like the idea of wormholes, isn't he? You know, what is it? They're getting the 2 pieces of paper and drawing the dots on each side and then folding the piece of paper and putting the pen through. Event Horizon style.
Of being explained with
we can't use drone warfare on them. Get a predator drone out, done.
How they feed off of and manifest your fears with emotional entity, where innermost negative emotions become an actual monster. Not to mention all the
so it can literally manifest.
Where we can see and have a more solid grasp of the culture and mysticism.
That's giving me like Lich King vibes. That is that mountain with the light there.
These lands. It really is amazing and engrossing to see all of them. Even when braving through and suffering with the higher ascensions, it's honestly just incredible and I loved learning about it. And I hope I conveyed even just a little bit about how terrifying and fascinating this all is.
Alright, nice one, Leo.
But that's all I have for you in this video. I really hope you enjoyed and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye. That was a great video. That intro was banging. Dude really gave the vibe of like how much of a threat and a potential hazard they are and that place is. Man, Again, there better be places like this in Enfield, man. There better be places like this in Enfield. I'm telling you, we need it. I need it anyway. That was a really cool video. I'm going to give this dude a sub, man. That's FAB Night, Fab Night, guys. Go check him out. That was some top tier content there. That was actually really well made, well edited as well, eloquently put, and yeah, man, cinematic. I like that. That was good. That was good. That was. Please, no, I don't want to fight collapsals in Enfield too. Actually, I don't think having a place like that is good for Enfield, at least not for the release, for difficulty there can be. Well, I'm not so much, well, I guess, I'm not really so much talking about difficulty, although with something like that, you would want difficulty for it to have the vibe, I guess. And it doesn't have to be on release. I just, like, because already for me, Enfield definitely has, it's obviously a nice, bright game as well, but there are some inklings of, like, you know, some dark themes, some grittiness there, you know, and I hope that the game leans into that stuff, because as a lover of sci-fi and fantasy, I like the whole spectrum, you know. I like the stories of hope and the, you know, the cultures that you aspire to be like, the characters that you aspire to be like, you know, the grey areas in between, and then these areas that are just, you know, these places, these people, these creatures that are dark and scary, and, you know, I want that all to be in there, because just visually and the combat wise and the mechanics of Enfield, I'm a massive fan of. If they can bring over this sort of world building, it might become my favorite gacha game. Like, you know, at the moment it's Wuthering Waves, but like after playing Enfield, I've been really enjoying him. What's going on, Heinshell? Well, it is explaining Enfield, the collapsals, Aethermorph, that was special kind of. Oh, okay. See, like in Enfield, I tried not to absorb any story if I could. You know, to appreciate it as much as I can when it comes out.